The rise and the fall of the Coke Empire in Western Kingston.
Look at the man in terms of how the community respects and treats him as a protector of their community. Thank you.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
The much-feared Coke Empire reigned supreme in Tivoli Gardens for about a quarter of a century before it was toppled, at a time when the second-generation leadership seemed to have been at its most dominant. Lester Lloyd Coke, also called Jim Brown, the architect of the dynasty, was not always the combative hard man he was reputed to be in the years leading up to his death. In classic dramatic irony, the turnaround for Jim Brown came in 1966, the same year that political warfare ushered a state of emergency in Western Kingston. Jim Brown, then in his late teens, was shot multiple times. One Sunday after politics came into the community, and the guys started to gravitate to either the PNP or the JLP, Brown was hit about 5 times before falling into a gutter. Reports are that everyone was afraid to assist him until someone rode up on a bike, picked him up and brought him to the area now known as Tivoli Gardens, where he was treated at the health facility. It is alleged that when Jim Brown re-emerged, he came back as a bad man.
Jim Brown came to Miami in 1984 to see what was going on with his Shar posse and their drug dealing activities. And while he was here, in November that year, he walked into a house and executed 5 people. He walked around each one of them and shot them in the head with a .45. Jim Brown is a bad man.
And that is when everything changed. At the time he was shot, Jim Brown was making something of his life. He was a regular Jamaican youth, not an idler. He worked hard because he was apprenticed to a locksmith by the name of Miller in a shop between Regent Street and Chestnut Lane, as at the time there were many genuine businesses in the heart of the community. Coke did not die, but the experience would have a far-reaching, life-altering effect on him. As fate would have it, it was another state of emergency that would be declared 44 years later in 2010 to Nabby's son, Christopher, more popularly known as Dudus, who had succeeded him as Tivoli's informal leader following his tragic death in 1992. Brown was said to be a good footballer, parading his skills in Denham Town, as Tivoli Gardens had not taken shape and the centre of Western Kingston was Denham Town. Brown, who was also called Babai, was well built and could defend himself in a fight, but according to his friends, he was never an aggressor. However, all that changed the day he was attacked. By this time, Jim Brown and most of the youths who lived in and around Denham Town would go into the area called Buckowall, that later became Tivoli Gardens, to participate in sporting activities. Then politics intruded and disrupted it all. Even an active youth club was transformed into a political football. That is the root cause of the changes in the community: political incursion. This resulted in youths who were friendly, who had amicable relations throughout, changing when the parties came with their agendas. At the time Jim Brown allegedly took up arms, he was not the frontman in Tivoli Gardens, as there were prominent people like Claude Massop and Carl Bayer Mitchell, who were on the front line. But eventually, Brown would emerge as the leader of Tivoli Gardens. As time passed, Jim Brown took unto himself a family, sending all his children to prominent high schools. His eldest son, Mark Anthony Coke, otherwise called Jati, went to Woolmer's Boys' School, while Leighton, otherwise called Livity, attended Excelsior High. Dudus attended the Harden High School in St. Andrew. Even when Jim Brown ruled Tivoli Gardens with an iron fist, His children were never known to be troublemakers in school.
Old people, they would come and hug him, kiss him. I know people love him off real because the person he is. Because the person he is. Always trying to help someone, say something to them. Word of encouragement, saying to the kids, talking to the kids, telling them that they must try to achieve a better tomorrow because, you know, they have to go to school and things. He's a principled person.
The lives of the Koch family members changed again dramatically one fateful Sunday morning in 1992. Brown was behind the bars, locked up at the high-security Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, more popularly called GP, after losing an extradition battle when news broke that Jati, his heir apparent, had been killed. Jati was reportedly riding his motorcycle along Maxfield Avenue in St. Andrew when he was attacked, shot and killed. The reprisals were swift and vicious, as according to the police, at least 12 persons were killed within a 2-week period. In February of 1992, on the afternoon that Jati was being buried, another tragedy hit the Koch family when Jim Brown himself perished in a mysterious fire in his cell.
When he was arrested at the request of the Americans, he faced charges of murder, drug trafficking, extortion. From prison, he fought a legal battle against extradition. He lost the fight, but he never stood trial in an American court. It was said that too many powerful people would have been implicated if he had. Jim Brown was burned to death in his cell. Officially accident, more likely murder.
With the death of his father and his brother, Dudus, an adopted son, was chosen to lead Tivoli Gardens over Liberty, to the latter's displeasure. A truce of sorts was forged between the two living sons, and Dudus reigned with a might that had sweeping reach. So much that the United States intervened with an extradition request that led to bloodshed and the loss of some 70+ lives during the Tivoli Gardens incursion to apprehend him. Dudus was extradited to the United States in 2010. He pleaded guilty in 2011 to federal racketeering charges in connection with drug trafficking and assault. On the 8th of June 2012, he was sentenced by a federal court in New York City to 23 years in prison. After nearly a year marked by diplomatic impasse, political scandals, and unprecedented clampdown by the security forces, the Koch empire had crumbled. This uncertainty has led to an ongoing power struggle in West Kingston, where, according to allegations, Lieutenant Liberty Koch, otherwise called Live Up, has been trying to exert dominance. Liberty, for his part, was arrested and charged for the alleged murder of Patrick Davis, otherwise called P-Boy, in March of 2018. Also charged for the same crime is Dudus' son, Michael Christopher Koch Jr., otherwise called Tittyman. Both men are still in custody, awaiting trial.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here, Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. This is Teach saying, until next time, walk good, my friends.